Story 1. AITA for demanding that my twin sister either changes her lifestyle or makes sure everyone knows we're two separate people. I, 20F, have an identical twin sister, Emma. We live together in an apartment while away from home for college. We've always been very similar, not just in appearance, but also in the things we enjoy, as stereotypical with twins, I guess. Except for when it comes to relationships. I'm not interested in relationships at all, not emotional nor physical. Emma is the complete opposite. Ever since we started living here, she's been bringing another random guy or girl, or both, home like every other night. It makes me extremely uncomfortable, but since it's her own life, I don't think I really have any right to judge. Problem is that it's really beginning to affect my own life. Not only do I have to listen to her going at it every time, we have very thin walls. But since we look practically the same and even our names are similar, if her name is Emma, my name would be Amelia, I'm getting attention intended for her as well. She has a reputation with how easy she is to sleep with, and people are approaching me thinking I'm her. My messages on social media are being filled with all kinds of obscene language and nude photos. When I reply saying I'm going to report them, they get confused because of the good time we had last night. Anytime I meet someone new, they only seem to be talking to me because they think I'm my sister and want to have some nighttime fun. As a result, I don't have any friends. I got really fed up with it yesterday and told my sister the way she acts is ruining my life. I told her she either needs to change her lifestyle, somehow make sure whoever she sleeps with won't bother me, and make it clear to everyone that we're not the same. In response, she told me I need to mind my own business, that I shouldn't be such a prude, and that I could probably use, in her words, some dicking myself. It kind of escalated from there, resulting me in calling her SL*T, which is definitely an thing to say, but I lost my cool. Anyway, AITA for demanding my sister to change her way of living, or otherwise make sure her interaction with people doesn't affect me? Let's read some comments. Nestor 1953. Clearly, you and your sister need to stop living together as soon as possible. You don't just have lifestyle differences, you have different values, and you're awfully judgmental toward each other where your values differ. I don't see how you can live comfortably in the same dwelling. I don't think that either of you has to change her ways. What you have to do is find new roommates. There is nothing wrong with the way either of you wants to live, it's a personal decision. What's wrong is that each of you wants the other to adopt something far closer to her own way of life. Which isn't going to happen. Citizen Ecuador 31. I mean, of all the people apart from her sister, OP probably has the biggest right/valid reason to judge. Her sister's decisions are affecting her. It would be different if someone who was unimpacted was judging, but is it right to chastise OP for judging the situation when she herself is bearing the consequences? I think OP realizes her name calling was ahish, but I'm not going to say she is wrong for coming to a conclusion on this situation and asking the sister to make sure her actions don't impact OP. I do think it's time to end the roommate thing though. Story 2. Dad gave me 30 days to move out and I did, so I thought I'd share my story. When I, was 18, my dad kicked me out for disrespecting my stepmother. Reasonable, but also she was and is a manipulative bitch, and I was fed up. Now what they mean by disrespecting her is I would only clean my messes. If I dirted a dish, I cleaned it, but only mine. If I cooked, I cleaned the kitchen. Things like that. She expected me to clean every mess she'd make and insult me, and has threatened to put her hands on me. Don't worry, I told my dad, but he took her side. I was fed up being told I was lazy, so I started talking back to her saying exactly what I thought. My dad was fed up with me standing up against his wife and said I had 30 days to get my stuff and find another place to stay. I was with my current BF at the time and he said I could live with him and his mom was fine with it. My mom is deceased, so she wasn't an option, and even if she was, it wouldn't have been a healthy option because she was addicted to heroin and the big cause of most of my trauma. So I packed my stuff within 2 days and I left. I guess my dad didn't expect me to leave so quickly, so when I came back to get the rest of my stuff, he told me I could stay as long as I respected the rules and owners of the house. I told him that I don't respect the rules or owners of the house, so I was not going back. He was really upset with me, and it probably didn't help that I was his youngest and my sister was already out making a life for herself. Don't get me wrong, I love my dad. I keep contact, because when my stepmother is out of the picture, he's a fantastic father. But I'm 21 now, and I'm doing really well with my life, and me and my BF are 3 years strong, and even in a new state. Dad really didn't like that, but I didn't leave out of spite, I just genuinely hated where I was. He is still really disappointed that I moved out, but that's what he told me to do. Sadly, my dad is still married to her and my sister had to drop her as a baby. What's up everyone? If you like this video, hit the subscribe button now. Babysitter due to poor supervision leading to my 1-year-old niece in the ER getting stitches and my dog getting put down because the dog was skittish due to my stepmother straight up hitting her, which led to my dog biting my unsupervised niece. Though, my sister tells me that he's slowly getting fed up with my stepmother's BS and entitlement. So who knows, maybe he'll divorce her and we can fully repair our relationship without giving him the ultimatum of see your future grandkids without her or not see them at all. I'm not pregnant but plan on having kids eventually. Edit. Added more detail about the dog/niece issue and fixing wording due to great points in the comments. Edit 2. I wasn't expecting this to get as much attention as it got. I really appreciate the comments and their perspectives. In regards to my dad, I'm really mixed feelings about the relationship we have. I really do love him as my dad, and I think to dig a little deeper, I'm also just really afraid of losing another parent. But I can tell he's trying a bit more now, and yeah, he hasn't been a good father, it's obvious. And there's a lot of things I just can't forgive. But I really am scared to lose him, be it healthy or not. I've still got a lot of learning to do and a lot of things I need to come to terms with, and this is one of them unfortunately. Edit 3. I'm going to say this, my dog was my world. I didn't bring her with me because I was moving to my BFS mom's house, which, by the way, was where I was also paying rent and helping with chores for those comments, and she had 2 cats that my dog would have absolutely murdered, and I wouldn't put their animals in harm's way just because of my situation. Then I was moving states to a friend's house while I continued getting on my feet, and she already had 3 large dogs and couldn't fit another one, and even if she could, my dog was still aggressive. So I will not sit here and be told by strangers on Reddit how I didn't care for that dog. I lived for her and I do not nor will not ever forgive them for putting her down or even putting her in a position to where that was even an option. And I've made those feelings clear to my family because not just my parents, but my sister and other family too lied to me for a week about her even being alive. And I am still not okay with that fact. Just because she wasn't the point of this post does not mean I didn't care. That's all I'm going to say in that regard. And for the ones calling me a brat for only cleaning up after myself after I was tired of being disrespected, I'm not going to say I was in the right. Because I wasn't, I was being a petty teenager that was blatantly disrespecting the owners of the house. Luckily, I've grown since then and I'm not the same person I was 4 years ago. Excused? No. But things have already been said and done and nothing I can do to change that, and honestly I probably wouldn't change it if I could. Hopefully last edit, I'm cutting him off. I've gotten a whole paragraph made about all the reasons why I can't have him in my life that I'll be sending in the morning, so I know he sees it. And for the understanding Redditors that didn't just come here to insult me, thank you for your light. It's opened my eyes quite a bit about how I'm still making excuses for someone who has obviously shown me more darkness than anything. If I feel he deserves to be in my life again, I may let him back, but for the time being, I really am focused on my happiness. Sorry if this wasn't malicious compliance, must have misunderstood my situation. Either way, thanks for reading. And to the hateful comments, thank you for giving me some self-reflection. Except the ones about my dog. To those, I say duck you. Like that does anything but seriously. You don't know me and have no right to say I didn't care. Story 3. Wanna yell at teenagers and duck up my pay? Meet my mom. Edited for clarity. I am still employed at this place of work, so I will not be disclosing the name, but it is a popular coffee chain. I, F16, and another coworker, also F16, who I will call Cleo for this, were working. My manager Sharon, rhymes with Karen, so it fits, came in to help because it was getting pretty busy. She brought her kids who are F7 and F3. In between taking orders, we are required to do certain chores during our shifts so the people who are taking over the next shift are prepared. I am making sandwiches, and Cleo is out back doing dishes. My coworker, who I will name Chad, was running late. This is a usual occurrence, and as a result I couldn't count my drawer up front or in drive-through. My mom is parked outside waiting for me and decides to come in to order something, but really it was to see WTF was going on. Sharon was sweeping near the front counter and she notices my mom. She huffs and puffs and yells to me, "Where is Cleo?" I told her she was out back and I'd get her. Cleo comes to the front and Sharon yells at her saying, "Where were you? There's a customer here." Cleo is on the verge of crying ADP but takes my mom's order. Remember Sharon's kids? Yeah, they're in the lobby absolutely demolishing the place. Stabbing the cloth sign we have in the lobby with markers, making a mess, which I had to deal with, etc. I was supposed to end my shift at 8 but ended up getting out at 9 due to Chad. I also couldn't clock out because of the POS being broken. So I wrote a note on the whiteboard and also messaged my DM and went home. The next day, I checked my work app to see if they fixed it. I saw that not only did my DM fix it, but it was edited by Sharon, saying I clocked out at 8:30, which coincidentally was the time SHE left. I tell my mom and we both get in her car to talk to my manager. I ended up staying in the car in order to avoid confrontation with Sharon, but my mom went in and spoke with Sharon. Needless to say, my mom went off, telling Sharon that she has the balls to yell at teenagers but not her own crotch goblins, and tells Sharon to fix my clock out time or she would contact her boss, who's the DM. Follow for more.